So, I had a very, very, very vivid out of body experience last night, and I'm trying to make sense of it. So, that's a portal up ahead, in case you're wondering. It's like a creek, and the trees bend around it. And I can't tell you how many times I've walked or been around this area and I've just seen like stuff stretching out of, because it's, yeah, interesting energy, but so many portals in the forest. I digress. So I was in this place. It was a building, maybe a house, I'm not sure, but it kept, the size kept changing. And I'd be I think it was more like a house, right? It was more like a living space, a very large living space, maybe a mansion. And because what happened next kind of surprised me, because I kind of turn a corner, go down a hallway, and there are these people. It's a couple, it's an older couple. Quite nice, I might add. Very well mannered. But they had kind of like a table front. Almost like people who were selling something at like a flea market. Or a mall, like a strip mall or something. And I walk over to them and I tell them, like, I've been looking for you. And they apparently were like metal workers, because they had all this jewelry. It was an assortment of jewelry. All metal. And other weird doodads and trinkets. And the woman says, we actually have something for you. And I remember following the woman, like, behind the table, which led into like another room or corridor. And in the far distance, I see 3 daggers. And the daggers they're all like equally spaced by each other. There may have been candles next to them. I just feel like they were illuminated. Like, the daggers were brighter than the light in the room, if that makes any sense. And the woman told me that each of these daggers either represented or called an archangel. And I remember the names that were spoken. I don't remember the order. Well, I do remember so I'll tell you. So the first 2, I recognize the names. I can't tell you exactly which names they were, but I know it had to be either Gabriel, Jophiel, Uriel, Raphael, or Michael. I'm not sure. I feel like Gabriel was one of them, though. Like I said, I recognize the first 2 names, but the third name that was spoken, I've never heard of that angel name before in my life. It was very foreign, which, I mean, the names of angels are kind of, it's one of those rare things anyway. Like, there are certain names that are spoken in certain texts, like Uriel isn't exactly spoken of in the traditional Bible, but Uriel pops up in the book of Enoch, same with like Raphael. But then, like, traditionally in the Bible, you hear about Michael and Gabriel. But there's a lot of other angels, which, duh, obviously. So, it was interesting. Anyway, I think it was really important. And I'm just, like, trying my best to figure it out. Like, I remember it so vividly. Anyway, I'm recording in the daytime. Try not to faint. Anywho, yeah, I'll talk to you guys when I have something else to talk about. Take it easy.